The championships.
The academic excellence.
This way is the Roadrunner way.
The achievements are endless.
But that's not the only reason why we're here.
Our calling is higher than just wins and losses.
Degrees and awards.
No, there's more to it than that.
Our road to excellence
is found when we
compete passionately,
accept responsibility,
lead courageously,
and live unselfishly.
These principles will produce results in all the roles that we experience.
This way
is the Roadrunner way.
And that spirit lives in all of us.
Whether you're on campus
or part of the larger Dalton community.
Excellence is not achieved alone.
We're all in this together.
This way
is the Roadrunner way.
Come with us.
This way.
This way.
This way.
This way.
This way.
This way.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of The Beep. I'm Eric Simpson, Sports Information Director for Dalton State. We're back after 2 weeks off, and this week we have a special guest, women's golfer Isabel Rijos. Isabel, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, as always, we're going to dive right in here. So I'm going to start off with kind of your decision to come back. So you had a tough decision, to make this off season because you were a senior, but you were also granted that extra year of eligibility because, our spring season was cut short by the global pandemic. So what went into your decision to return to school and play one more year as a Lady Roadrunner?
It was actually really tough. I didn't really know what to do at first. I didn't know what to think about everything that had happened really to begin with. And there was a lot that I had to consider. It was either, move on from the sport that I love and, start my life like I had planned, or come back and just play the extra year. And there were a lot of things that I took into consideration. I talked to my dad, who's just my biggest support system. And he, of course, wanted me to go back, but I still just wasn't sure about it. And I talked to McGrew, and, he said, they're granting you an extra year of eligibility if you wanted to go get your master's somewhere else, like CSU, Columbus State University, where I'm from. He said, I know they offer a master's program. And I was like, I can't put on a different uniform. It would just feel too weird. And I finally decided, I was like, you know what? I think that when I get older, I'm going to look back and be like, it's 1 year of my life and I'm going to regret not going back. And that's what I was trying to avoid. So I decided to come back, and I told McGrew, and he was really excited.
I know whenever he told me, I was really excited myself, because I was like, man, because you've got some talented teammates, and your team is talented this year. And in my eyes, having you was the icing on the cake of what this team could need to really, possibly push forward down the stretch. That team leadership that you've been through for 4 years on campus, with having to balance classes, but also what it takes to be, to beat some of these top teams on the course. Our team is balanced well. They're young, but we've got some veterans as well. But you bring that leadership that team really kind of needs. So I was in that boat as well. I was really happy and really excited that you did come back because of what this team has the ability to accomplish this season.
Yeah, I was excited too. I felt like over 4 years I had worked so hard for it to just end the way that it did. So I'm excited about this year and just to see what it has in store for us. I feel so old compared to everybody else because our team is so young.
I know. I mean, it's when you lop Sydney and Megan in with Destiny and Maylee and Hannah, you've got 5 freshmen essentially. From that standpoint, since they get a year back on that team, and I had to talk with Coach McGrew about that. Like, how does that work as a team dynamic from a recruiting standpoint, and all that, and they're talented, but they are young.
Yeah.
And
I think it works really well too, though. Like, we all just have a really strong bond between all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Even the freshmen that just came in,
Right. And it's something you can already see. It's something that I picked up on whenever we did, headshots, for picture day and such. You can already tell y'all all get along really well.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time together, a lot between all of us. I mean, and not just in golf. Like, we just like to spend time together.
Right, and that's one thing you gotta love from a team dynamic. It helps strengthen that bond between y'all. Off the course, but on the course as well, because then you know when somebody's upset. And if you're following them or watching them because your round's done and they're coming in the last 3 holes and such, they may be able to just tell by their looking and be like, hey, you got this. And, you just feed off that.
Yeah.
All right. So, moving on. So you and the team, kicked off that 2021 season last weekend, 3rd place finish at the Players Club Invitational in Indiana. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So with the global pandemic still going on, what, if anything, was different or new considering the circumstances?
There were a few things that were different. For this tournament, nothing was too crazy. For the next tournament will be, but this tournament, everyone kept everyone's score. That was a little different. It wasn't anything too bad. They still let spectators in and parents. And then after the round, you couldn't. Normally, we either shake hands or hug, but you couldn't do that. And it was hard remembering you couldn't do that because I would go up to hug them and I'm like, oh wait, I can't. And you had to have your temperature checked. Everyone did, I think, before you warmed up, even anything. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. But next tournament, the one that we're hosting, it's going to be a lot different. Like, we're all riding because we're playing 36 holes, but everyone is playing with their team. So it's gonna be very strange.
Yeah, on a lot of I think on a lot of different things. And I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of tournaments I think are going to that format to where instead of threesomes with one from each team, you're going to go with threesomes and you're playing with 3 of your team, 2 of your other teammates. So
we're interested to see because we're like, oh my god, we need to take this serious. We can't just be joking around.
I know, because that's one thing. It's different in that sense because you don't have that competitive edge going against that other golfers.
You have the mindset. Like, you have the same mindset. It's not gonna feel like a tournament.
Right. It's going to feel more like qualifying or practice.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about how we're all so close and we all just, cut up and laugh and have a good time. So we're all interested to see how it's going to turn out, I think.
I know, because, you also have that chance to, in a sense, it kind of also takes the stress off, to where you can play a little bit more free. You can play a little bit more loose, and you may not know it, but, you turn around and, wow, you've shot 69. Exactly. Yeah. 70, 71, and it didn't seem like it because you were just having so much fun around with your teammates, and the edge was off, the stress was off. You're not worried about having to that golfer had a birdie, so you have to have par on this hole to make sure that they don't get too far away from you, and how's that going to affect the team score, and how are they doing. And there's so many things that I think that can kind of help with.
Yeah. And some people they just play better when they're out there playing for fun.
Exactly. And that's what it's going to seem like a lot more. It's going to seem more like fun than it does an actual tournament.
Yeah, for sure.
So the tournament this past weekend was played at the Players Club at Woodland Trails in Yorktown, Indiana. Taylor University, another perennial top 10, top 5 team in the country, hosted that tournament. So was that your first time on that course, and how did the course set up?
First time on the course, first time in Indiana in general. I've never been there.
Right.
But I thought the course was in really good shape, personally. I mean, there were definitely some things that could have been better, but overall, I thought that it was a really nice golf course. It was pretty, or it was kept in really good shape, and it was set up. It's kind of hard to explain because it's not that it was a simple golf course, because there were simple holes, but then there were those holes that were really, really tricky. So I feel like there was no in between, especially on the tee shots. I think that's what made it tricky was the tee shots mainly. You know, like you had to be on certain holes, you had to be in the right place.
Gotcha.
Not just about, being in fairway.
Right. So sometimes it mattered if you were on the left side or the right side of the fairway. As to where you could, whether it was a scoring hole or not, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, and there was a lot of water too, around the whole golf course, which made it a little intimidating.
Right. Yeah. If somebody hasn't played golf before and hasn't been on a golf course and encountered water, unless you know how to handle it, that water is a heat-seeking missile for your ball.
Yeah. You just gotta. I mean, it's easier said than done, but you really just have to not think about it.
Exactly. You got to just, picture all green and, no water out there. And it's hard to do. It's hard to get into that mindset. And I mean,
for sure.
Because
out of the corner of your eye, you can see it,
Yeah.
And you're like, don't go in the water, don't go in the water, don't go in the water.
Yep. Yeah. I have problems with that myself.
Guilty.
Yeah, guilty as charged. And I'll come up from the shot, and of course, I'm being an amateur golfer and playing, just a couple times a year, I'll raise my head and be like, ball, where's the ball? And it's in the water. So, I'm just like, let me just go ahead and throw another one down and put it right back where the other one was in the water.
No one saw that.
Yeah, no one saw it. Exactly. It went in as fast as I came off my club. So we have now, I think, 4 more tournaments left this fall. Mm-hmm. So which tournament that's left on the schedule has you the most excited?
I think the next one that we were talking about, the one that we're hosting down at Innisbrook. Mm-hmm. I think that one's got me the most excited just because I haven't played there since my freshman year. I've never played that golf course. I've played another golf course on that same resort. But I haven't played there, and the guys and the girls we're all playing, so it's gonna be fun.
Absolutely, I can't agree more. And I mean, you're also having the women's the men and the women are having one tournament together. For those who don't know, but both tournaments are being held on the Copperhead course, correct?
Yeah, we're all playing on the same golf course,
which is awesome. And for those who also don't know, the Copperhead course at Innisbrook hosts the Valspar Invitational every single season, which is a PGA Tour tournament. So, that's also great to know that you're getting to have some time on an actual PGA Tour tournament course.
And 36 holes in one day. That's going to be great.
I know. Daylight, that's from sun up to sundown golf right there for sure.
Yeah. It's going to be tough finishing 36 holes and the guys and the girls playing on the same golf course.
Right. Well, and the good thing is at least you're riding because it saves your legs. I mean.
Oh, for sure.
36 holes.
Mentally,
18 holes
though,
in one day. Yeah.
Mentally,
having to think your way.
Even after 18 to 36. I mean, you get to number 18 and you're like, you gotta start this again. You're not done.
Because, mentally, thinking your way around a golf course is just as much as physically putting the ball where you need it. Yeah. Because if you're stressing about a tee shot here or there, if you hit the last tee shot, it's in the back of your head. It's like, well, I've got to go, I got to make sure I do this so I don't, hit it, right in the rough again. But
Yeah.
you
And doing that for
overcompensate Snapdragon.
literally 8 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's very, very tough just to keep, your head literally in it.
Right. And it doesn't matter if it's January or July, it's going to be humid in Florida.
Yeah.
And
it'll probably rain.
Yeah. And it's going to, physically that takes it out of you even more, knowing that you're just pouring sweat. It's hot, it's humid, and you're doing this for 36. Yeah. You're tired, mentally exhausted. You're doing this for 36 holes. For anybody who says that golf is not a sport, I challenge them to try that. So, we had this wacky year where everything has gone, bonkers in a sense. And with that, we now have the 120th United States Open being played in September, in fact, teeing off today. So who do you think is going to be the favorite to win the trophy at Winged Foot?
Well, I think I'm going to go with Xander Schauffele. I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
I can never get it. I'm going to go with him. He's been playing really well this year. I guess last year, really. But I'm also going to put Jordan Spieth up there just because I love him, and I can't leave him out, even though he hasn't been playing very well.
Yeah, I was he teed off really early this morning, and he was one of the first groups off, and he opened with I think a bogey, double bogey, so he was 3 over after 2.
Oh no!
But I think because I was watching, because I root for him too. He was it was kind of captivating watching him come on the scene in 2015 and just right off the bat win 3 majors.
He dominated for like 4 years. I can't even remember, but it was a while.
I know. He's just got to get his driver figured out. That's his. That's been the major issue with him. It seems like he played well today. After that, but he kept spraying his driver left and right and never could figure out where it was. But he putted incredible.
Really?
Oh, he putted incredible. I know he played the final 16 holes even.
Really? I haven't seen it yet. I'll probably turn it on after this, but
yeah, it's supposed to be on network TV later. I watched one of those fancy little apps that they have it on. So, but yeah, it's a very interesting course, and I'm with you. I think Xander Schauffele be a name to watch out for. You can't count out Dustin Johnson. He's playing incredible golf right now. And,
yes, he is.
Jordan or Justin Thomas is, up there as well.
That was another one that I was thinking of.
Yeah. Definitely. I think it's going to be an interesting tournament. And, with them just ending the Tour Championship, now we're going to have a PGA Tour season with 6 majors, which is going to be quite interesting.
I know. I can't wait for the Masters to be played now.
No, and it's going to be like back-to-back majors for that, because it'll be in November and then again in April. So
that's going to be so weird.
I know. Very, very interesting to say the least. All right. Well, Isabel, we want to thank you again for joining us. Great conversation. I'm sure the viewers are going to be ecstatic to listen on this as well.
Thank you for having me. Sorry, I didn't know if you were done.
Yeah.
I was like, is he finished?
Yeah, you go ahead. It's all good. All good. That's part of the show that I love, is the fact that it's it's kind of somewhat scripted, but a little unscripted at the same time.
That was unscripted.
Absolutely. Well, we want to thank everyone everyone at home for watching as well. Remember, we'll be here every Thursday night, 6 p.m. with a brand new video. Reminder to follow all Dalton State Sports on social media. The handles and the tags are in the end credits. I'm Eric Simpson, signing off. Everyone have a great evening tonight.